Safaris. In order to keep your wait time to a minimum, we ask that you please keep your group together. Keep up with the party's run.
Children may be seated next to or on the laps of their parents or accompanying adults. As the group head to the Waltz safari trip, you may follow them into the loading area. But do not.
Good morning, everyone. That does mean welcome. For those of you who will be right, wash your hands, arms, feet, legs, starts to be sliding closed. Asante Sana. That does mean thank you. And out here in Harambe, we like to say Twinde, which means let's go. Jumbo, everyone. Welcome. My name is Ashley, and I'll be your safari guide today for the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Just a couple of important safety reminders before we go out and get started. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck and remain fully seated at all times. If you guys look above your head, there is an animal spotting guide up there. We will do our very best to find as many of those animals as we can. We normally do have some pretty decent luck out there. Now we are going to get our journey started out here together in the Little Eternity Forest. The animals that live out here in the forest, they like to rely on their natural colors to help blend into their background. So keep an extra sharp eye out, as the animals who live out here, they can be hiding just about anywhere. It does look like over on our right, in this right corner within the bushes, is the okapi. Now, okapis, they are generally very shy and reclusive in nature. They're not too territorial though. You'll often find the okapis hidden deep within the forest. Females, they're generally slightly taller than their male counterparts. And although okapis kind of resemble zebras with their leg stripes, they are actually the closest known living relative to the giraffe. It's because they share a similar skeletal structure and a long prehensile tongue. The okapi tongues are so long, roughly about 16 inches, they can actually lick their own eyes and ears. And not much is known about baby okapis, as they do their best to remain hidden from the world as long as possible. That includes not using the restroom for the first month of life to help disguise their sin. It does look like straight ahead, walking along the back wall here, is the black rhino. Now the black rhinos, they can reach up to about 3,000 pounds. They can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. The black rhinos, they are solitary, which means that they'll spend the majority of their life living just by themselves. Unfortunately though, due to poaching, there are less than 5,000 black rhinos living in the world today. Over on our right, there's two different kinds of antelope species. Closer to us, hiding in the bush, is the greater kudu. And further up on the hill, there's some darker colored antelopes. Those are the bongos. Now both the bongo and greater kudu, they have those white stripes on their midsection. Those stripes act as their main form of camouflage. When they're running out in the trees, their stripes help mimic the sun's rays peeking through. Over on our left, these black and white birds, these are the saddle-billed storks. They get their name from the yellow saddle shape resting on their beak. And they're solitary birds, but if they find a partner, they're partners for life. Those birds stand at around 5 feet tall, have an average wingspan of 9 feet. But we are now making our way over towards the Safi River. River is home to more aquatic animals, so keep an eye out in the water. Look for shadows or bubbles. Those are normally pretty good signs of some animals. But it does look like spread out along the islands here are the pink-backed pelicans. The pelicans, they get their name as they'll turn a pinkish color during their mating season. It's actually their skin that changes colors and not their feathers. So just like us humans blushing. And they are colonial nesters, so they'll be anywhere from around 20 pairs of birds to 500. And a group is called a pod. In the water to our left, the Nile hippos. Now a group of hippos is called a globe. You have to be fully seated back there, please. Although the hippos can swim, they are so heavy that they'll just sink down to the bottom and they'll run along the bottom of the water. They like to use the rocks beneath them to help propel themselves forward. And the hippos, they can hold their breath for roughly 6 to 8 minutes at a time. An adult male, they can reach up to around 5,500 pounds. For their size though, hippos eat a pretty small amount, as they're only eating roughly just about 80 to 90 pounds of vegetation daily, which is the opposite of the Nile crocodiles down below, as they can eat half their body weight in just one sitting. Crocodilian species in all of Africa. On average, they're roughly 16 feet long and about 500 pounds. They do have an incredible jaw strength, but the crocodiles, they are still quite gentle. You'll often find the mom and dad, they'll put their eggs in their mouth. They'll roll them around with their tongues in order to soften them up to help them hatch. And they don't have sweat glands like we do. So in order to release all of their body heat, crocodiles will lie there with their mouths wide open in order to help cool themselves off. And a group of crocodiles can either be called a basque or a float. There's a giant tree here on our right. This is the baobab tree. These trees, they'll go leafless up to about 9 months out of the year. They're often referred to as the upside down tree. This kind of looks like they have roots that stick up in the air. Another pretty common name for them is the tree of light. That's because they can store thousands of gallons of water in their trunks at a time. Now we are starting to make our way into the largest part of the reserve, the savannah. And the savannah, it is home to Africa's much more popular and iconic wildlife. And it does look like over on our right, hiding behind the trees and straight ahead, are the tallest animals in the world, the Maasai giraffe. Now fully grown, Maasai giraffes will stand at around 18 to 20 feet tall. Just like our fingerprints, their spot patterns are unique to each and every one of them. The giraffes, their tongues are a bluish purple in color. The theory is that helps prevent any sunburn. As the giraffes, they spend the majority of their days awake and eating, as they're only sleeping roughly just around 30 minutes a day. And it's not one 30-minute nap they take. It's a bunch of little naps scattered throughout the day. And standing up, as laying down makes the giraffe much more vulnerable to predators. Now over on our left, laying beneath these trees here, are the African wild dogs. Now they're also known as the painted dogs. These coat patterns of theirs are incredibly unique. They can actually identify one another from a pretty large distance. But don't let their cuteness fool you. Those dogs are the most successful predator, and they outrank any large cat. Straight ahead here, the Harambe mountain zebras, and hiding to our left behind these bushes are the sable antelopes. The sable antelopes, they are the official emblem here of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, and they have those horns of theirs, which they use to help establish their dominance in both fighting and sparring, as well as love and courtship. Now the Harambe mountain zebras, a group of them is called a dazzle. And if you're wondering if they are white with black stripes or black with white stripes, the answer is within their nose. So if a zebra has a white pinkish nose, that means they're white with black stripes. And if their noses are black, like the Harambe mountain zebra, that means they are black with white stripes. Also on our left, that light tan antelope, that is the eland. Elands stand at around 6 feet tall. They actually have the ability to jump 8 feet straight up into the air from a standstill position. Now the elands, they're known for slight little twists that are in their horns. During their mating season, the boys, they will decorate their horns with a bunch of flowers and grass to make themselves appear much more attractive for the ladies. And it does look like there's another Maasai giraffe to our left. We'll get a closer view of in a moment. There's still this one straight ahead behind the trees. Now a group of giraffes is called a tower. The first thing a baby giraffe will experience is gravity. The moms, they give birth standing up, so it's a nice 6-foot welcome drop to the world. Except it only takes a newborn giraffe roughly just an hour after birth to start standing up and walking. Now the giraffes, they can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. However, they prefer to maintain a nice controlled pace of anything that's less than 5 miles per hour. And they have impeccable eyesight, so when combined with their height, giraffes have a great vantage point across the entire savanna to keep a watchful eye out on any potential threats coming their way. On our right, these tiny little antelopes here, these are the springboks. They are small, only standing at about 3 feet tall. What they lack in height, though, they make up for in speed, as they're some of the top 10 fastest animals in the world, reaching speeds of 50 to 60 miles per hour. And they get their name, which means springing buck, as they can spring around 6 feet up into the air and roughly 13 feet when going forward. When they do that, it is called pronking. Because of their speed and jumping capability, they are mascots for a bunch of sports teams over in South Africa. And it looks like just up ahead here is the African elephant. Now the African elephants, if you get a good look at those ears, they somewhat resemble the continent of Africa. These ears of theirs are also filled with blood vessels. So by just flapping their ears, elephants can actually cool themselves off up to about 15 degrees. So it's like they have their own little cooling system that's been built right in. One way we can help protect many animals, including the elephants, is by recycling products containing coltan. Coltan's a metallic ore, which you'll find in cell phones, laptops, tablets, and a bunch of other smaller electronics. It's known to last forever, so it's important that we do our best to recycle as many of those products as we can, so we can stop the need for mining for more, and help protect the homes of these animals all across the world. These are a great source of minerals for all the animals out here. You often see the elephants come by. They'll dig their tusks in to help extract minerals. That's what works like you and I taking a daily vitamin. There are some tusk marks here on our right, and it looks like more elephants to the left. Now, elephants, they do live in a matriarchal society, so it is the females who run the show. The boys, they will kick themselves out of the herd as they mature. That happens around age 15. The boys, they will go on to live alone, or they'll form a small little bachelor herd, roughly 2 to 3 other male elephants. We can assume the first elephant we saw was a male, as he was all by himself. Well, it does look like it's the family herd hanging out on our left. Now, elephants, these trunks of theirs, they have more muscles in those trunks than we do in our entire body. You'll often see them using their trunks to fling dirt, mud, and sand up onto their back. All of that acts as a natural sunscreen for them, as the elephants, they're known to have incredibly sensitive skin. And the African elephants, they're the largest mammals in the world. Fully grown, a male reaches up to about 13,000 pounds, stands at about 13 feet tall. Just around the corner here, the greater flamingos. The greater flamingos, they are the lightest in color and largest of all flamingo species. They get their pink coloration from the beta-carotene, which is found in their diet of mainly brine shrimp. It does take roughly around 2 to 3 years, though, for that pink color to start developing. As the baby flamingos, they are born a very light gray color. And a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. Now we have just made our way over to the eastern side of the savannah. A giant mud pit to our left, that is the mud wallow. That was created here by the white rhinos. And it does look like the rhinos are hanging out on our right. The rhinos will come by though, they'll take a giant mud bath, and they'll brush their horns up against all of the trees and the rocks. As their horns are made out of keratin like our fingernails, so by brushing their horns up against all of the trees, they're filing down their horns, just like we would our fingernails. The white rhinos do get a bit bigger than the black rhino, reaching up to 5,000 pounds. But we are now headed into some cat territory, so keep a sharp eye out on the left. There might be some cheetahs roaming around back here. It does look like there's one. Now the cheetahs, they are the fastest land mammals. They can reach speeds of 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. But they can't hold their speed for too long, roughly just a few hundred yards. They have incredibly muscular tails. The cheetah's tails act like rudders on a boat, helps them change directions as well as keep their balance as they run. They also have black tear marks running beneath their eyes, which act as their natural sunglasses. As cheetahs, they do the majority of their hunting during the daytime. Now up on the second highest rock to our left is a lion laying down. We should be able to get a slightly better view as we make our way to the other side. But it does look like there's one laying just below her in between all the rocks as well. Now in a lion pride, it will be the females who go out and do the hunting. The males, they'll stay back, guard the territory, and any cubs. The reason the females go out and do the hunting is Now lions, they have pretty comparable daytime vision to ours. Their nighttime vision, though, is about 6 times more powerful than our nighttime vision. And lions, they'll typically rest around 16 to 20 hours a day. They are much more active during the nighttime. Now, over on our left, they're kind of hard to spot. They're laying in the sun behind those logs in the back corner, are the warthogs. Now, the warthogs, they are burrowing animals. You'll find that they'll back up into their burrow. That way they can charge at any predator of theirs with those razor-sharp tusks. And it's pretty common for warthogs to reuse holes in the ground dug and left by other animals. Another view of those rhinos as well as the ostrich here on the right. Now ostriches, although they have wings, they are flightless. They instead use those wings of theirs to help them change directions as they run, reaching speeds of 40 miles per hour. They are the largest birds in the world, lay some pretty big eggs, which are here on the right. Now these eggs, they are incredibly strong. They feel still can actually stand on one and not even crack it. Roughly just about one of their eggs is equivalent to 2 dozen chicken eggs. They'll both weigh roughly 3 to 4 pounds. Now our final stop here, this is the warden's post. The warden takes care and protects all the animals who live out here. Right now it does look like there's a couple of Nigerians or goats up front. Now these goats, they are small, but they're fully grown. This is as big as they'll get. They're incredibly playful, friendly, and social animals. And their playing actually helps them with their maturity. These goats do have a tremendous sense of balance. So you'll often find them climbing up on top of the warden's belongings. And occasionally the goats, they love to climb up on top of the roof. But we did just find a bunch of really cool animals out there. Each and every one of them needs our help. That can be just as simple as reducing, reusing, and recycling. So going out and getting those reusable water bottles, straws, even silverware, it's all a great way to start reducing all of that plastic waste. Making sure that we recycle as much paper as we can. That way we help out all of those animals out there who really rely on trees for their survival. But remember, when we all do a little, together we do a lot. So go out there, make those differences, spread your knowledge, and together we can help out all of those animals. And if there are any wilderness explorers on board, you guys have been riding on the Simba 1. That is Simba like the lion and the number 1. But now it'd be a great time to start double checking your rows, making sure you have all of your personal belongings with you. You don't want to leave anything out here behind on the truck. Because out here in Harambe, we do not like to say goodbye, as goodbyes, they are far too sad and far too final. Instead, I will leave you guys with Kwaherini, which means to go well. So go well, my friends, go wild, go make a difference out there, and enjoy the rest of your time here in Disney's Animal Kingdom. And if you're on that right-hand side, watch your hands, arms, feet, and legs. Those will be sliding back open. Watch your step as you exit, and Kwaherini.